Let's make cleaning gentle again. There was a time when cleaning felt like second nature. We'd scrub, lift, bend, and mop without thinking twice. Just part of life, part of keeping a home warm and welcoming. But as the years pass, our bodies begin to speak louder. And sometimes they say not today. Pain, stiffness, fatigue. They can turn even the smallest task into a mountain. If you ever looked at a full sink of dishes and thought, that's going to cost me a sore back. If you've ever skipped dusting because just lifting your arm felt like too much, or if laundry day now feels like running a marathon, you're not alone, and you're not doing it wrong. You're just ready for a smarter way to clean, one that respects your energy, protects your body, and still leaves your home feeling fresh, comfortable, and yours. In this video, we'll walk through 10 gentle but effective cleaning hacks, each one designed to help seniors, those with limited mobility, or anyone deal with chronic pain clean smarter, not harder. No shame, no pressure, no heavy lifting. Just a few clever shifts that can lighten your load and bring a bit of ease back into your daily routine. Let's begin. 1. Wash dishes immediately after eating. How one simple habit saved me 30 minutes a day and my sanity. I used to dread doing the dishes, not because it was hard necessarily, but because it always came at a worst time. After dinner, when my back ached, my energy was gone, and all I wanted to do was sit down and rest my feet. But instead of a peaceful evening, I'd face a sink full of dried, crusty plates that looked like they'd been cemented with spaghetti sauce and mashed potatoes. Scrubbing them felt like a punishment I hadn't earned. That's when my neighbor, Carol, a spry 78-year-old with more wisdom than I gave her credit for, said something that changed everything. "Honey," she told me, stirring her tea, "you're working too hard. Rinse your dishes right after you eat. Don't let them sit there like bricks." At first, I brushed it off. I've been doing it my way for decades, after all. But one evening, just out of curiosity, I gave it a try. I finished my dinner, walked over to the sink, and instead of setting plate down and walking away like usual, I ran it under warm water. I gave it a gentle swipe with a sponge, just enough to keep things from sticking. And you know what? It took all of 15 seconds. Later that night, when it was time to actually do the dishes, they were practically clean. A quick rinse, a swipe, and done. No scrubbing, no soaking, no elbow grease. I was amazed. So now it's a habit. I keep a small basin of warm, soapy water in the sink while I eat, and the moment I'm done and the plate goes, it soaks while I relax. When I'm ready, the dishes clean themselves practically. I even wipe off dishes lightly before putting them in the dishwasher. It makes the whole process smoother and keeps the machine from clogging up. What once took me 30 to 40 minutes now takes 10. And I spend my evenings doing things I enjoy, reading, watching the birds out the window, or just sipping tea like Carol. It's funny how one small change can make life so much easier. If you're tired of scrubbing your way through dinner cleanup, give this a try. Your back and your future self will thank you. 2. Transfer the cleaning solution to a small bottle. The day I let go of the big bottle. For years, I avoided cleaning. Not because I didn't want a tidy home, but because the tools themselves made it feel impossible. The bottles were just too heavy, the spray triggers too stiff, and pouring bleach or floor cleaner from those giant plastic jugs. A recipe for disaster. I'd either spill half of it, strain my wrist, or end up with aching fingers for the rest of the day. One morning, as I watched my neighbor Bill, who's 74 and walks with a cane, wipe down his porch railings with surprising ease, I asked him how he managed to keep everything so clean. He chuckled and said, "I stopped trying to act like I was 40. He invited me inside and showed me a secret. A collection of small, lightweight spray bottles, each clearly labeled and filled with diluted versions of the cleaners he used most. Multi-purpose spray, vinegar and water mix, gentle soap. Every cleaner had a mini version, perfectly sized for aging hands. I used to hate cleaning because of the strain," he said. "Now I actually don't mind it. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter." Inspired, I went home that afternoon and made the switch. I picked up a few small spray bottles from a dollar store, poured in just enough solution to last a few days, and labeled them with big, clear letters. I kept one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom, and one on the nightstand for dusting. The next day, I wiped down the bathroom sink. No fuss, no pain. I didn't have to drag a heavy bottle from under the cabinet. Didn't have to brace my wrist before squeezing a stiff trigger. It was easy, almost enjoyable. For bonus comfort, I also bought a pack of pre-moistened wipes to keep near the stove. Now, when I spill something, I clean it up in seconds instead of pretending I don't see it and deal with it later. These small changes made a huge difference. My cleaning routine no longer drains me. I move from room to room with ease. I feel more in control of my space, my body, and my time. If cleaning leaves your hands sore and your spirits low, don't give up, just lighten the load. Start small, literally. Sometimes, the best way to keep your house clean is to stop carrying the weight of it all. 3. Use a microfiber towel instead of a regular towel. The day dusting stopped hurting. I used to hate dusting, not because I didn't like a clean home, but because it felt endless. The moment I finished wiping the bookshelf, the piano would need attention, then the TV stand, then the windowsills. And worst of all, nothing ever stayed clean. A day later, the dust would be back like it had never left. But the real reason I dreaded dusting? My hands. At 76, my fingers don't work the way they used to. I have arthritis in both thumbs, and on bad days, even holding a cloth feels like gripping a block of fire. One afternoon, I was venting to my daughter about it. I told her how I'd started avoiding certain parts of the house, just because reaching, stretching, and wiping was too much. She smiled gently and handed me a pack of microfiber cloths. "Mom," she said, "try these. They'll change everything." I'll admit, I was skeptical. A cloth is a cloth, right? Wrong. The first time I used one, I wiped the coffee table in a single, smooth motion, and every speck of dust clung to the cloth like magic. No smearing, no dust flying back into the air, and no second pass needed. It was soft on my hands, required almost no pressure, and most importantly, it worked. Now, I keep a microfiber cloth in nearly every room. When I need to clean higher places, like ceiling fans or top shelves, I wrap one around the end of a broomstick and secure it with a rubber band. No ladders, no stretching, no danger. I even dampen the cloth slightly for extra grab, especially when I'm not using spray cleaners. And when I'm done, I just toss it in the laundry with my towels. It's reusable, easy to wash, and saves me money on paper towels and harsh sprays. My hands thank me every time. I no longer fear dusting. It's quick, light, and strangely satisfying. My home feels fresher and I feel empowered, not defeated, when I pick up that cloth. If cleaning has become painful or frustrating for you, this one change might lift a burden you didn't realize you were carrying. Sometimes it's not about doing less. It's about using better tools. And in my case, a tiny, fluffy cloth helped me take back a little piece of joy, one gentle swipe at a time. 4. Use baking soda as a natural cleaner. The little box that became my cleaning hero. For most of my adult life, I leaned on name-brand cleaners with harsh smells and long labels full of chemicals I couldn't pronounce. If it promised to kill 99.9% of anything, I bought it. But things changed after my wife passed. At 79, I started noticing how strong scents gave me headaches. The bleach, the ammonia, even the so-called lemon fresh sprays, they all made my eyes water and my chest feel tight. One afternoon, after scrubbing the stove with something that smelled like gasoline, I had to sit down. I was wheezing and lightheaded. That's when my granddaughter Emma came over with a grocery bag and pulled out a box of baking soda. "Grandpa," she said, "you don't need all that stuff. This is all you really need." I raised an eyebrow. That's for muffins." She laughed and showed me a list she'd printed off from the internet. Countertops, tile grout, drains, carpets, the fridge, even laundry. Baking soda could do it all. I figured I had nothing to lose. The first thing I tried was cleaning the kitchen sink. I sprinkled some baking soda onto a damp sponge, rubbed it in small circles, and let it sit for a few minutes. When I rinsed it off, the stainless steel looked brand new. No fumes, no sore wrists, no coughing. Next, I tackle the microwave. Same method, baking soda and water paste. Grease stains wiped off like magic. Now, I keep a box in nearly every room. In the fridge, it absorbs odors. In the bathroom, I mix it with vinegar to clean the toilet and clear slow drains. In the laundry, I toss half a cup into the wash. It softens towels and takes out smells better than any chemical softener ever did. And the best part? It costs less than $1. I haven't bought a bottle of store-bought cleaner in over a year. My home smells neutral, not like chemicals. I breathe easier. And I clean more often because it no longer feels like a battle. If you're sensitive to smells, tired of scrubbing, or just want something safer and simpler, give baking soda a try. It's not just for cookies anymore. It's a little white miracle in a box. 5. Arrange the laundry basket by type before washing. Laundry used to wear me out. Then I changed one thing. I used to think laundry was a simple chore. That's what it always been. Just toss clothes in a basket, wait until it was full, then haul it to the washer. But by the time I turned 74, laundry day wasn't so simple anymore. My back hurt when I bent over to sort the clothes. My knees ached from squatting down to reach for socks hiding in corners. And lifting a heavy basket full of damp towels? That took all the energy I had for the day. I found myself putting it off, waiting longer and longer between washes until the piles were overwhelming. That only made it worse. Then one day, while visiting my daughter's house, I noticed something clever. She had 3 baskets, one for whites, one for colors, and one for delicates, right there in her hallway. When we undressed, she explained, we drop clothes straight into the right basket. By the time laundry day comes, it's already sorted. I stared at those baskets like they were magic, so I tried it at home. I bought 3 lightweight bins, nothing fancy, and labeled them in big letters. Whites, colors, delicates. I placed them side by side on a low bench in my laundry area so I wouldn't have to bend. It sounds small, but this one change has saved me more effort than I can explain. Now, when laundry day rolls around, there's no crouching and sorting. I just grab the bin I need and go. If it's a heavy load, I use my little rolling cart to wheel it across the house. No more carrying, no more straining. I even keep a long handle grabber nearby in case something falls behind the machine. What used to take me nearly an hour between sorting, loading, and resting now takes maybe 20 minutes. And I don't feel like I need a nap afterward. It's amazing how a little organization can take so much pressure off your body. If laundry leaves you sore and frustrated, maybe it's not you, maybe it's your system. Try this. 3 baskets. No bending. No chaos. Just simplicity. Because you shouldn't have to hurt yourself to wear clean clothes. 6. Use a foldable cart to carry laundry. Rolling through laundry day without the pain. Laundry used to be my least favorite chore. Not because it was complicated, but because it hurt. I'm 78 now, and carrying a full basket of clothes from the bedroom to the washer became a real struggle. My arms would ache, my back would tighten up, and by the time I got everything loaded, I was already exhausted. I'd sit down on the sofa and need 10 minutes just to recover. One afternoon, while chatting with my friend Elaine, I told her I was thinking about hiring someone just to help with laundry. She shook her head and said, "Honey, you don't need help. You need wheels." The next day, she showed up at my door with a gift, a folding laundry cart. It was light, easy to unfold, and had 2 soft grip handles and smooth rolling wheels. At first, I thought it was overkill. But the next time I did laundry, I gave it a try. I loaded my clothes straight into the cart. No lifting, no struggling. I rolled it down the hallway with one hand. I didn't have to brace myself or stop halfway. It glided easily over the carpet, through doorways, and right up to the washer. And just like that, laundry day changed for me. Now I don't dread it. I don't avoid it. I don't end up sore and grumpy afterward. When the washer's done, I toss the clothes back into the cart and wheel them to the dryer. Sometimes, I even fold them right in the basket. It stands tall enough that I don't need to bend. It's funny, really. One small cart gave me back my independence. It gave me choice. No more asking the neighbor boy for help. No more waiting for my daughter to visit on Sunday. I can do it myself comfortably on my time. If you're struggling with laundry or any task that involves lifting, please don't wait like I did. Get yourself a folding cart. Pick one that's sturdy, but light. One with big wheels and a handle that doesn't strain your wrists. It may seem like a small thing, but for me, it rolled away more than just laundry. It rolled away frustration, fatigue, and pain. And that, my dear, is worth every inch of floor space it takes up. 7. Use anti-dust spray or treated cloth. The day dusting got easier and stayed that way. Dusting used to feel like a never-ending loop. I'd wipe down the shelves on Monday, only to see a fine layer of dust back by Wednesday. By Friday, the TV screen looked like it had grown its own sweater, and I'd find myself sighing, cloth in hand, asking, didn't I just clean this? The worst part? I have arthritis in my hands and shoulders. Reaching, wiping, bending, it all added up. Dusting wasn't just annoying. It was painful. Then one day, while visiting my niece, I noticed something strange. Her house was spotless, like magazine photo spotless. But she swore she only cleaned once a week. How? I asked, my jaw probably on the floor. She smiled and handed me a can of lemon-scented dusting spray. Use this. Just a little. It helps repel dust. I barely need to wipe anymore. Skeptical but willing, I took it home. The next morning, I sprayed a light coat on the bookshelf in the hallway. Just one shelf as a test. It smelled nice and would look polished, but I didn't expect much. 3 days later, I checked. That shelf? Still spotless. The others, however, were collecting dust like usual. I was sold. Now, I use a soft microfiber cloth and just a touch of dusting spray once a week. It keeps the dust from sticking, and it actually makes the surfaces easier to clean next time. No more re-wiping. No more scrubbing. Just one smooth pass and done. The best part? My hands don't hurt nearly as much. I don't have to apply pressure or go over the same spot 3 times. Even the TV stays cleaner longer, which means fewer awkward stretches and fewer fingerprints to chase. Sometimes I use pre-treated dusting wipes for quick jobs, like the windowsill next to my reading chair. I keep a few tucked in the drawer with my remote. Now, dusting doesn't drain me. It doesn't feel like a losing battle. It feels manageable. If you're tired of dust settling faster than you can clean it, try this simple trick. A little spray goes a long way on your furniture, your mood, and your energy. And if you're like me, the less you have to clean, the more time you'll have to sit down and actually enjoy the space you're cleaning for. 8. Break down cleaning tasks during the week. The 10-minute habit that changed my home and my mood. When I was younger, cleaning the house in one afternoon didn't seem like a big deal. I'd blast some music, open the windows, and get it all done, dusting, vacuuming, scrubbing the bathroom by dinner time. But these days, at 79, my body has a different idea. I try to keep that same routine, only to find myself completely wiped out halfway through. My back would start to complain. My knees would chime in. I'd push through, but by evening, I'd be sore, cranky, and too tired to enjoy anything. One day, after collapsing onto the couch mid-mop, I looked around and realized something sad. I was starting to resent my own home. So I tried something different. I set a timer for 10 minutes. That's it, just 10 minutes. I told myself I'd clean one small thing, just a bathroom sink or just the living room shelves. If I wanted to keep going after that, fine. But if not, that was okay too. What happened surprised me. In 10 minutes, I cleaned more than I thought possible. And because I wasn't trying to do everything at once, I didn't feel rushed or exhausted. Now I've made it a routine. Monday, wipe kitchen counters. Tuesday, vacuum the living room. Wednesday, dust the bedroom. Thursday, clean the toilet and sink. Friday, change the sheets and do a little decluttering. Each task takes about 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes less. Some days, I do it while waiting for the kettle to boil. Other days, I skip one and catch up later. No pressure. But here's the magic. My house stays clean. Not spotless, maybe, but lived in clean. Fresh, comfortable. And I no longer dread the weekend cleaning marathon, because there isn't one. I get to spend my Saturdays reading or walking to the park or chatting with my daughter, not scrubbing the tub like at the battlefield. Breaking chores into small, manageable pieces didn't just help my body. It helped my mind. I feel more in control, less overwhelmed, more at peace in my space. If cleaning feels like too much lately, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the all-at-once mindset that's the problem. Try 10 minutes. Just one corner, one surface. You might be amazed at what you get done, without breaking yourself in the process. 9. Place many small trash cans in the house. How a few tiny trash cans made my days so much easier. It's funny how something as simple as throwing something away can turn into such a big hassle. At 78, walking from my recliner in the living room all the way to the kitchen trash, every time I had to use tissue, snack wrapper, or empty envelope became annoying and honestly tiring. And I'll admit it, I started letting things pile up, little bits of trash here and there, a napkin on the coffee table, a cough drop wrapper on the nightstand, a paper towel by the bathroom sink. It wasn't filth, it was just clutter. But slowly, it made the house feel messy. And worse, it made me feel lazy, even though I wasn't. The truth is, walking back and forth every time was more draining than I cared to admit, especially on days when my joints were stiff or my legs felt shaky. Then one afternoon, while visiting my friend Marie, I noticed she had a tiny wastebasket next to her favorite armchair, and another one by her bedside. She saw me eyeing them and grinned. I got tired of making the trip for every tissue, she said. Now I only take the trash out once a week. That night, I ordered a set of 5 small, lightweight trash bins online. Nothing fancy, just plastic cans with foot pedals and easy-to-lift lids. I placed one in the living room, one beside my bed, one in the bathroom, one near my desk, and another in the laundry room. And just like that, cleaning up became almost effortless. Now, when I finish a granola bar or blow my nose, the trash goes straight in, no delay, no debate, no back and forth walk to the kitchen. Once or twice a week, I gather the small bags and empty them all into the main bin near the door. It takes 5 minutes. No heavy lifting, no straining. I even keep a roll of fresh liners in the bottom of each bin, so I don't have to go searching. It's such a small change, but it's made a big difference. My home feels tidier. I feel more in control. And the little things don't pile up into frustration anymore. If you're tired of trash running your schedule, spread it out. A few tiny bins can give you back energy, ease, and a whole lot of peace. 10. Keep a regular daily cleaning schedule. A little each day keeps the chaos away. When I first retired, I thought I'd finally have time to keep the house spotless. But what actually happened was the opposite. At 73, I had more time than ever, but also less energy, less patience, and a whole lot more creaks in my knees. I'd let dishes sit for a day or two, laundry pile up, and dust gather on shelves like snow in a storm. Then once a week, I'd try to tackle it all in one go. It felt like I was going into battle with a vacuum in one hand and a mop in the other. By the time I was done, I'd need the entire weekend just to recover. It wasn't working. Then I heard a podcast, just a casual episode where someone said, "Cleaning isn't something you finish. It's something you maintain." That line stuck with me. So I sat down with a notepad and wrote out a new plan. 10 to 15 minutes a day. That's it. One small task. Nothing heroic. And I started the very next morning. Monday, light dusting in the living room. Tuesday, wipe down kitchen counters and appliances. Wednesday, sweep the entryway and vacuum the rugs. Thursday, clean the bathroom sink and mirror. Friday, change the bed sheets and tidy my nightstand. Each task was short, specific, and doable, even on days when my joints weren't thrilled to cooperate. I set a timer, did my one thing, and then moved on with my day. After just 2 weeks, I noticed something amazing. My house stayed clean. Not perfect, but peaceful. And more importantly, I didn't feel overwhelmed anymore. I wasn't constantly apologizing when someone dropped by. I wasn't exhausted on Saturdays. And I stopped thinking of cleaning as something dreadful. Now, it's just part of my rhythm, like brushing my teeth or making my morning coffee. If cleaning your home has become a burden, try this. Don't wait until everything feels like a mess. Start small. Stay steady. Trust that little things, done regularly, become something big. Because a tidy home doesn't need a superhero. It just needs someone who shows up every day, even if it's only for 10 minutes. Your home, your pace, your peace. You don't need to power through. You don't need to prove anything. You just need tools and habits that meet you where you are, because cleaning shouldn't leave you hurting. It shouldn't steal your entire afternoon, and it definitely shouldn't steal your joy. Whether it's keeping a microfiber cloth nearby, switching to smaller spray bottles, or simply setting a 10-minute timer each morning. These small adjustments can transform the way you feel in your space, not because your house is perfect, but because it feels like home again without the weight of exhaustion. So take what works, let go of what doesn't. And remember, progress isn't about doing more. It's about doing gently, doing consistently, and most importantly, doing in a way that honors you. You've taken care of so many things and so many people over the years. Now, it's time to take care of yourself, too. You deserve a clean home. But more than that, you deserve a life that feels light again. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment with number 1 to let us know you watched the whole video. We appreciate it. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more great content. See you in the next video.